when you're fake, nobody can love you because nobody can know you. You're so convinced that deep down what's inside isn't good enough. So you put so much time and effort and energy into covering it up because you're scared that if people only saw what was in there, that they wouldn't love you, that they wouldn't support you. And I know what it's like to feel this way because I spent 10 years of my life in active addiction. And when I finally cleaned my life up and I got my first big girl job, I was so terrified to say anything at all that could give them and even a hint of what was in my past, because I was like, if they find out, they're going to know that I'm an imposter and I'm a fraud and I'm a bad person. And I was just so ashamed of who I was. And what I have found couldn't be further from the truth. I've received nothing but support and positive encouragement and clients from just opening up and sharing my story. It's remarkable. It really is. So what happens is you start putting everybody else's strategies into work for yourself in your business, and you create a piece of content and then nobody says anything. That's because your content doesn't mean anything. Nobody can actually get a feeling for who you are. They're not connecting with you. You spend like hours on carousel post because you saw somebody else make a carousel post. Now you go to make one and then nobody says anything, and it's just like rude. That shame is what keeps your ideal soul sister dream clients from rolling up in your DMs like, oh my God, you're amazing. How can I pay you? I'm in. And you're never going to reach the right audience until you understand your unique aura type, or you be able to even show up consistently in a sustainable manner. So today we're going to be talking about my aura to income method, how to use your human design to maximize your sales and your content creation and just make your business so much easier. Because I do believe there's no one right way. There's only your way and consistency. And when you are operating in alignment with the way that your energy works and what you came here to do, you can be so much more consistent because you're not so burned out, bitter, and frustrated all the time. So you're not only going to be able to manage your energy better, but also the energy of your clients. So if you are an online coach, an intuitive healer, manifestation, mindset coach, like you're going to have a better understanding of yourself, what you came here to do, what people want to hear from you, but you're also going to be that much better of a coach because you're going to be able to give your clients that same framework, that same blueprint for understanding themselves. So they're just going to get better results. You're going to get all the wins and the testimonials rolling in. And your aura type really, it 100% has a huge impact on how you go about social media. When you are magnetic, when you are authentic, you start to attract the exact right people. So, hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a floor 6 self-projected projector, and I love to use human design with my clients to help them 3x their leads in 30 days without wanting to unalive yourself. And that's actually exactly what we do inside Spiritual Business School. So let's dive in here. You're missing a trick if you're not working with your aura type. I promise you. I'm going to get into each of the aura types here in a second. But before we do that, I want to give you a little story. So as I said, I'm a projector. I was talking to one of my first human design coaches who's also a projector, and now we're friends, and she's just so good at getting to the bottom of things. She's like so clear and succinct and like able to boil things down and synthesize them into their simplest form. And I'm so jealous of her. I'm like, why can't I just be like that? Like, why can't I just like shut the fuck up and just get to the point like this, you know? And she's like looking at my serial killer, Miro boards. I have like all the notes and the workflows and the workflows. It's just insane. And she's like, yeah, but she said, you're like genius level smart. Like all of this that you got going on over here is a lot, Amanda. I could never do that. That's just not who you are. And so this is just, and I was like, you know what? Thank you for that, because it's so easy to feel like envious of what other people have and feel like it's so easy for them. And I just wish I was more like that. But the truth is, like, you're never going to be like that. So why fight it? And so what human design has done for me is give me the permission slip to be myself and to understand how my energy works. I swear, finding out I was a projector, just so many things fell into place. And with that being said, if anything I say here today does not resonate with you, doesn't feel good, doesn't align with your own experience, then throw it out the window. The whole purpose of this is to make your life easier, to make content creation so much more simple. And if it's something that doesn't align, then don't worry about it. None of this stuff is Bible. And today, because we're only talking about aura types, this is human design in its most basic sense. And it's such a wide, deep array of knowledge that, like, yeah, you understand what I'm saying. If it feels good, take it. If it doesn't, then don't take it. So human design, for those of you who are brand fucking new, where have you been? No, I'm just kidding. So if you think about astrology is like the movie, and human design is like the part that you play. It gives you a insight into how your energy works, what you came here to do, what people are here to learn from you, what your purpose is, how to lean into that for your most natural prosperity pathway. In fact, we just did lesson 5 of Empress yesterday, and we talked about the pearl and gene keys, which is your natural prosperity pathway. So there's so much you can do in this work. And today we're just going to be talking about aura types. So let's dive into it. So generators, you have consistent life force energy. You are like a powerful river that is open and enveloping, that naturally draws people into your world and into your flow. Because your aura is open, enveloping, you're very magnetic. You naturally draw people and situations and opportunities to you when you are doing the things that light you up. Your energy, it's like a power plant. When it's running, it's limitless, but it needs the right fuel. And the right fuel for you is response. You are here to respond to life versus initiating. Okay? So this means that when you are creating content that lights you up, you are here for the volume. You can post as much content as you want anytime, any day of the week, 3 a.m. in the morning. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you don't need rest. Please understand that all of the other non-energy types are jealous of your access to energy. And you are here to respond to the things that light you up. So you want to build a lot of Q&A into your content. 70% of the world are generators. So keep that in mind. Like, if you want more generator clients or just more clients at all, then give people something to respond to. Instead of asking them open-ended questions, you can ask them this or that question. Do you like A or B? Hot dogs or hamburgers? This or that. Build as much Q&A into your content as possible, because first of all, people will always buy what they helped to build. And so as a generator, if you're going about creating a new offer, launching a new program, creating your school, bring people behind the scenes with you. Show them what you're doing. Ask them what they want. Would they like to see more of? And then give them options. Because when you make it easy for them to respond to you, they're going to become more involved, more engaged, and stay with you for the long run. And the more engaged they are, the more likely they are to buy from you. It's just that simple. So think of yourself as like the Netflix, you always just continue watching feature. People want to follow your journey. You can give us behind the scenes content. Show them what your life is like. Bring us along. Your content should feel like you're opening the front door and you're just inviting your best friends over. Success comes for you from being like a first responder. I don't know if you've heard this, but Ryan Reynolds, okay, the actor, he built his entire empire. I think he's worth like, I don't know, billions of dollars or something now, because he built this program as a generator that when events or something would happen in the news or something would happen, he was able to respond first and put a marketing campaign or a promotional strategy together to monetize the news coverage they were getting. Because our news cycle is so short now, he was able to, what's an example of this? Let me find one. What's the name of Ryan Reynolds? Into it. Maximum Impact. No, he owns a football club. He responds to world events and puts together marketing campaigns. I think he did this with Peloton to monetize on it because he's a first responder. So we want to hear your hot takes, your behind the scenes, your like what you honestly think about things, and you're here to respond to those kinds of things. So you're like a campfire. People naturally gather around your warmth and your energy, and the more satisfied you are, the more logs you have on the fire, the more magnetic your presence becomes. So you want to monetize your sustained energy output. You're here for the do it yourself. That doesn't mean every single day you're going to feel like doing every single thing. Some days might be a copywriting day. Some days might be a B-roll day. Some days might be a rest day. You still need rest, okay? It's not like you're this inexhaustible engine. So, but you're here to do the DIY. You can do that. Create while you're in the mood. Your only content strategy is to create high value content. There's no forcing and no holding back. So just package your natural enthusiasm. You're here to dive all in and master a particular thing. And if you're a generator, you're like, Amanda, I don't have that thing. That's just because you haven't found it yet. So allow yourself to explore, see what invitations and opportunities and things are coming your way, and ask yourself, like, how do I feel? Follow your sacral response. And the last thing I want to say is use your frustration. So your strategy is to wait to respond. When you are following your strategy, you feel satisfied. When you are not following this wait to respond strategy and you're going out and you're initiating things, you feel frustrated. Frustration is your portal to wealth, because wherever you feel frustrated in your business is a sign of something that is ready to evolve. Are you frustrated with content creation? Are you frustrated with the lack of clients? Are you frustrated with like not knowing what to post? Whatever it is, like, how can we systematize it, automate it, have somebody help us with this? What can you do? Like, what would satisfaction look like for you in this area? And then do that thing. This isn't that you can't initiate anything, okay? Your strategy is to respond. Sometimes they say wait to respond. It doesn't mean you can't ever initiate, but generally speaking, your satisfaction will come when you respond to the things that naturally are drawn to you. Don't try to force creating content when you're not feeling it, when you're not in the mood. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be like a face to camera reels day. It could just be a copy day. It could be a, laying out the website day. It could be any number of things. And ignoring your body's response. You have a defined sacral. That's what makes you a generator. It's like, uh-huh or uh-uh. I do this with my clients. If we're like, I don't know what to charge, we'll be like, okay, is your name Susie? Do you like the color red? Do you drive a red Porsche? Do you want to charge $500,000? Do you want to charge $5? And they'll answer me each time, and we'll arrive at our answer from that little fun exercise together. Ready to turn that sexy generator energy that we all wish we had into multiple streams of income, recurring monthly income using Skool and your human design? Then join us in Spiritual Business School. You can join as a monthly or an annual member, and either way you get started with a 7-day free trial. Okay, next we have projectors. So you guys are like, you're like the lighthouse, okay? I'm a projector. So you're not the tugboat. You are a lighthouse. You have a focused and penetrating aura that cuts through the noise, and you're able to easily illuminate the path for others. You are here to master a system that streamlines the energy that the generators and the manifesting generators create. And when you are not dampening your wisdom down or hiding behind this thing of like, oh, I'm a projector, so I can't be consistent, or I'm a I don't believe in that. And there's so much stuff out there that portrays projectors as these like weak ass fucking, I gotta take a nap all day people that just are helpless. And I don't think that's true. In fact, some of the highest performing, most successful women I know are projectors. And projectors are those kind of people that you find their podcasts and you could just listen to them talk for hours, especially if it's like a knowledge base or inspirational kind of thing. Like we're here for your wisdom. You're like the foreman. You're guiding all the energy. You're showing everybody where to put certain things. Like I love working with my generator and Manny Gen clients because they're able to get so much done. And they'll create something and I'm like, okay, what if we move this here and that here? Like I was working with one of my clients the other day, Manny Jen, and she had mapped out her 12-month curriculum for her mastermind. And so she had laid out the groundwork for that. And then me as a projector, I'm like, well, I feel like we should have this conversation earlier in the timeline. And then this could be down here. And like, that's just a perfect example of how like I'm not creating the entire program. We're doing it together. And that's how we guide the energy that these energy types create. You see what other people miss. You're not here to get paid for the hours put in like a generator or manifesting generator. You're here to be paid for your wisdom, your guidance, your insights, the things that have taken you a whole lifetime to build. And you see things that other people miss, and it's so easy. It's just, you just see right into them. And so that's why your strategy is to wait for the invitation, because when you don't wait for the invitation, you're pouring your energy in certain directions that people aren't going to be able to receive it because they haven't asked for it. And that's a big thing in coaching anyways. It's like coaching is not advice giving, but that's a whole other conversation. Your wisdom is like, you're like a premium streaming service like HBO. It's not necessarily for everyone, but it's invaluable for its subscribers. Your energy management, though, is not optional. It's your business strategy. So while it's so important for you to have like a good nighttime ritual, like sleep routine, morning routine, because you're absorbing so much from others throughout the day that you need to be able to reset that. You can get more done in 3 or 4 hours than generators can do in 8. So that doesn't mean you get all this done in 3 or 4 hours and now you got to go move on, keep working. Give yourself a break. Allow yourself to take rest. You're going to get better content ideas and output when you allow yourself to do that. Your success comes from being recognized. So your strategy is to wait for the invitation. You can become the invitation by honing your skills, by getting really good at the thing it is that you do. So an example of this, you could go to a coffee shop, and if your thing is tarot, you could have your tarot deck out and be practicing, and people are just naturally going to come up to you and ask you what you're doing. They might ask for a reading. Now, you're not going to give them a free reading, but like that's a perfect example of you're like creating the invitations. The invitations come when you go all in on this thing that you do. So give us the like long ass carousel post, the captions, your Chanel. So you could do one piece of content that's just so badass once a week. You're going to do great on platforms like YouTube, where you can provide more in-depth tutorials, content, posts that are, you can see the bottlenecks that the generators and the manifesting generators are creating in the feed. Like, look at, everybody's talking about this, but no one's talking about this. I'm seeing a lot of this, but I'm not seeing a lot of this. Notice what's missing and fill that gap. You're like this master sommelier. You don't need to drink all the wine to know which ones pair perfectly together. Your gift is in the discernment and the guidance. So your profit strategy is to charge for your insight, not your time. Create content that demonstrates your unique perspective. Make sure you're building systems that protect your energy so that you're not recreating the wheel all the time. And then your portal to wealth is your bitterness. So when you are following your strategy, you feel successful. When you are not following your energy, you're not following your strategy of waiting for the invitation, you feel bitter because you're pouring yourself into people that are not here for it. They didn't ask for it. It's like what they say about free advice. And wherever you feel bitter is a sign of something that's ready to evolve. So if you feel like you're not getting the invitations that you want, the clients that you want, how can you become that much better at your craft? And then show us behind the scenes, show us what it would be like to work with you. Give invitations. Your strategy is to wait for the invitation. You can also invite people into your space. You can invite them to work with you, to take the next step. With generators and manifesting generators, if you want more generators and mani-gens in your clientele, give them something to respond to. You can do A or B, this or that. So make sure your pitfalls are you're trying to keep up with the hustle of generator content. You are here for the quality, not the quantity. So allow yourself to go all in on an amazing piece of content, and it's not something that you're going to be able to do or want to do every day. And at the same time, I'm a projector. I was in sales for 2 years, door-to-door B2B sales, and I was walking into people's offices all day asking if they wanted to buy something. And I'm also a 4/6, which means I'm supposed to sell to my network. And so there's all of these generalizations in human design. I've also heard, like, as a projector, you shouldn't reach out to people in the DMs. And I don't really think that that's true. So I think any of these strategies, these business building, conversion, traffic any of these strategies could work for any of the types. It's about finding the things that work for you. So if I see a client, somebody who's like following me, they're engaging with my content, they look like, you know, someone who they built an audience, they're working with clients one-on-one, and I really feel like I can help them, I will absolutely reach out to them. I'm not sending copy and paste messages to everybody. I'm saying something personal about their page that shows that I'm actually engaged with them in their community and just starting a conversation. So there are ways to adapt all of the different strategies for your type. If you are tired of keeping up the generator style marketing and you want a system, like an all-in-one business system that allows you to monetize your expertise and create multiple streams of revenue, that's exactly what we do inside Spiritual Business School. You can join a community that values your insights. Your invitation is here. I'm just putting it out there. You can join as a monthly or an annual member, and you get to start with a 7-day trial so you can get the vibe, see if you like it, and you literally have nothing to lose. Okay, manifestors, you guys are here to be fucking controversial, okay? You are the electric initiator. I heard this analogy before that generators are like the engine, whereas manifestors are like lightning. You operate in these intense bursts of energy where it just like comes from the heavens, and you have a very close connection to source, to your intuition, to divine guidance, and you're very close, and you're here to initiate, to get things started. Your strategy is to inform. So anywhere you're feeling bitter, anywhere you're feeling angry, it means you didn't inform people properly, okay? So you're the disruptor. This is like Tesla in a world of horse carriages. You're not here to follow trends. You are the trend. You are the niche, bitch, okay? I need you to own it. You're here to call the future into us, give us all jobs. So, thank you for that. Do not tamper your message down for anyone. You're not here to be influenced by everyone else. You're here to create an entirely new future that none of us could even dream of. So you really are destined for greatness, but the world was not built for manifestors, and you will have been conditioned from a child that that these big ideas are just not realistic, or that they could never work, or that's just crazy. And so you've learned to kind of quiet this down and censor yourself to an extent. And the more that you're doing that, the more you're keeping your ideal clients at bay. You just are. So I want you to make controversial, polarizing content where you just post it and then you put the app down. Like, you don't wait for validation. Don't ask other people like what they want to eat for lunch. I would like you. This isn't me telling you what to do, manifestors. This is just a suggestion. Is because you have this really close connection with source and with divine guidance, time exists. The nature of time is flow, and there are 3 types of flow: active, passive, and neutral. So active flow is where you are creating something based on what you know, like me making this podcast. Passive flow is where I'm consuming information intentionally to learn something I don't know. So like when I was doing research for this podcast, listening to other podcasts, listening to books, listening to YouTube videos. And then there's neutral. And this is when nothing is going in and nothing is coming out. And because you're a manifestor, and you have this close connection to source, you're not here to be influenced by other people. But if you're consuming so much content from everyone else, you can't hear your own voice or guidance above the noise. So one of my manifestor clients, he's gone from one thing to the next, and he's been successful in all of them, but he's ready for something new. And we had been making really good progress. We're getting him set up on Skool. We came up with his content series, or his Start Here course. And he was like, I just feel stuck. I don't know what to do next. I'm just like, there's too much to do. I don't know if it's possible. And I was like, how much content are you consuming? And so we came to find out he was listening and consuming a lot of content, and he was creating a lot of work, not necessarily for this business. And I said, I need you to spend some time in neutral, some like quiet time where you can hear your voice, hear your guidance. And we did that. Next thing I knew, he had the entire series already done. So every type could benefit from spending some time in neutral. We're all consuming so much information all the time, every single day, and it can be really hard to hear yourself clearly above the noise. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, frustrated, you feel ashamed that you're not further along, that you should be making more progress, you know, your family asks you what you do and you don't even know what to say, spend some time in neutral. You need a reset. So your success comes from informing, not conforming. You're like this revolutionary app that changes how people think about something ordinary. You don't need everyone to download you, just the right people who are ready for change. So you're here to monetize your revolutionary ideas, definitely building systems that can run without you. Let your anger guide you towards what needs changing. That's your portal to wealth, and you're here to create an intense bursts. So have a strategy, have a system, have a VA. You're not here to do all the heavy lifting. You're literally the architect, and you operate or text like a guy who's not really interested in you. Like me and one of my manifestor clients will get so much done, and then I don't hear from him for weeks. And then he comes back when he's ready for more. And that's just how it is for you guys, and it's beautiful. Don't dilute your message. Don't seek anybody else's permission. And don't try to create this consistent presence like the generators or mani-gens. So if you are ready to create without the resistance and have like a simple business system that supports your fucking badass revolutionary ideas, where you can learn to market in your way without needing anybody else's permission, have templates that you can personalize to your unique niche, your unique voice, then I would like to let you know about Spiritual Business School. You can join as a monthly or annual member and start with a 7-day trial. Manny Jens, you are the dynamic, I fucking love you guys so much. We have a very close relationship. You are the dynamic multitasker. So like a butterfly in a garden, your magnetic aura attracts through movement and variety. You're not here to just go all in on one thing. You're here to be into all of the things. You never have ADHD. If you are a manifesting generator, you are literally just a manifesting generator. So you're like the Netflix because you watched algorithm personified. Your scattered approach is your strategy. Speed and variety are your superpowers, and success comes from following your spontaneous guidance, your spontaneous satisfaction. So you're like a popular food truck that serves like the fusion cuisine. It's like mobile, it's exciting, always mixing things up in new ways. You present your wide variety of interests and passions and bring them all together in a way that no one would have ever thought of. And that's what makes you unique. One of my Mani-Gen clients, she was a manifesting coach, or started doing manifesting and mindset, and then it evolved into business. And then she also teaches content creation, editing, graphic design. And that's like a perfect example of things that you wouldn't necessarily think would go together, but for her, it's perfect. It makes perfect sense. So you're here to monetize all these different passions simultaneously. Or there's another one, and another Mani-Gen I know, she is always coming out with a new program. Every other week, it's like she's got an entirely new program coming out. And then I found out she was a manifesting generator, and she describes herself as a squirrel, ADHD squirrel on crack. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Your portal to wealth is your frustration. First of all, you are not a manifester. You are a generator with manifestor qualities. So the strategy of to respond still applies to you, even if you'd rather be a manifestor. So you're not here to stick to one niche, and just because you start something doesn't mean you have to finish it. If you start a new program or a new offer or a new piece of content and you're not feeling it, then just let it go. At the same time, because you're so impatient and you have a tendency to skip steps, you go all the way from like A to Z, you want to let your followers, your audience know in your content that you're not going to leave them behind. So you want to let them know, I've got a step-by-step path to get you from A to B. Some people need more information than others, but because you're a Mani-Gen, just like let people know you've got a process. There's a method. There's a step-by-step formula you can follow, and this is how we're going to get you your result. Let your frustration guide your pivots. So wherever, this is what I was saying about generators, wherever in your business you feel frustrated is a sign of something that's ready to evolve. So use that frustration as a portal to wealth. Instead of being frustrated that you're frustrated, take 5 minutes to go take a walk outside or journal, do a brain dump, take some deep breaths, listen to some meditation music, whatever you need to do to get back in your vibe, and stop taking on so many projects at once when it's overwhelming you. Like set a cap, be like, I'll take on 10 new projects this month, whatever they are. And then when you've reached your cap, just practice saying like, hey, I'm at capacity. Circle back later. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no for now. Just because you can, just because you have the energy doesn't mean you should. Okay? And don't shame yourself about not finishing everything. Again, there's no one right way. There is only your way and consistency. And the whole purpose, the reason we're having this conversation today is just to help you embrace your way and create better content that feels really fucking good. So if you are ready to streamline your manifesting generator powers, because you just are so powerful, then I'd like to invite you to Spiritual Business School. You can join as a monthly or annual member. It's Skool, Skool.com/Amanda. And you can go there now to join on a 7-day trial right now for a limited time. Okay, let's do reflectors. You guys are so fun. Only 1% of the population are reflectors, and you're like the mirrors. You're like the rear view mirror. You have a sampling aura that reflects the truth back to the collective. We are not clear until you are clear. You're like the ultimate review site. You sample a little bit of everything, and then you let people know what works. Your clarity comes in lunar cycles. So it's not going to be daily posts for you. You can either learn to, you're a different type every single day of the week, every single day of the month, you're a different type, and you have the power and the pitfalls of that type. So you can either learn your schedule, like what days you're going to be which types based on the lunar cycle, or you could just learn to trust your own unique timing. And I know it's hard to be a reflector and you don't want to have to wait a month to be able to make decisions. And you can either be frustrated about that or disappointed, or you can learn to honor that. Your best friends when it comes to content or putting together new offers are going to be, you can go live. Going live for you is amazing because you're able to see and hear and experience what everyone else is talking about, what they're struggling with, what they need help with. And if you're not sure what kind of content to create, look back over the past month and ask yourself, what insights have you arrived at? What things have you noticed? What are you seeing? What is becoming clear to you now that wasn't clear before? Your environment has a huge impact on your success. Okay. So whatever, like the people, the physical environment, the things around you all have a huge impact on the way that you feel. So this is going to be a little bit different for everyone. I actually just did a video on all of the environments. It's on YouTube. But just because you're a reflector and you have all open centers, you're highly influenced and impacted by your environment. So whatever you can do to create a space that feels inspiring to you, that feels surprising, that's fun. If you need to mix it up a bit, all of that's amazing. So let your surprise guide you to opportunities. Create content based on what you've experienced or seen from the past lunar cycle, and create the perfect environment for you that makes you feel surprised. Your pitfalls are trying to get yourself to fit in a fixed schedule. You're going to be a different person and have different powers every single day of the week. So maybe for you, this applies too. Maybe it's a copywriting day. Maybe it's a video day. Maybe it's a graphic design day. Like, do what you can or what you feel like doing that day, and wait until the day that you're a manifesting generator to go shoot all the content. Trust that that's enough, and embrace automations, systems, AI, anything you can do to supplement your inconsistent access to energy is going to go a long way when it comes to the profitability of your business and the ease and the fun and the flow, because that's why we're doing this anyways. Okay. You are a special snowflake butterfly. No, but you really are. As a reflector, you really, really are. If you are looking for a business that supports your success and your surprise as a reflector, then come and join us in the Spiritual Business School. It's Skool, Skool.com/Amanda. You'll be able to save yourself so much time and energy and effort with the templates and the community, because nobody escapes the matrix alone. If you're a reflector, you've probably already escaped the matrix, as you guys just said. I love y'all. The first guy who ever introduced me to human design was a reflector, and he was like the specialist person I know, and him and I just hit it off immediately. I remember when he introduced me, he's like, "Have you heard of human design?" And I was like, "No, what is that?" And he's like, "Well, are you into astrology?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know I am." He said, "You got to check out human design. It's the realest thing I've ever found." And hearing that from him, I knew it must be true. I love him so much. Okay, so let's just recap each of the types. So generators, you're here for the steady, consistent quantity. Everything doesn't have to be Chanel. It doesn't all have to be quality. You can post anytime, anywhere, when you feel inspired. Projectors, you are focused and periodic. You are the Chanel. We don't need to be dripped out in Chanel every fucking day, all right? Like, a little bit goes a long way. You want people to crave you. Honor your rest, okay? And also there is a way to be consistent as a projector. You just find how that works for you. Manifestors, you work in bursts. It's very important that you automate and systematize these things so that you're not stuck delivering on something that you don't really have the energy for. Maybe I'll do another podcast on the business models and offers that work for each type. Manifesting generators, you can be quick and varied. Just talk about the things that genuinely light you up, that excite you. Just be as multi-passionate, multifaceted as you are, and bring all of you to the table. Reflectors, you are cyclical and very observant. Again, we're not clear until you're clear. Look back on your lunar cycle, see what you've seen, share it with us. Thank you. Generators, you're here to respond and sustain. You have that energy. Projectors, you're here, you need to incorporate rest and periods of focus. Manifestors, you're here to impact and influence and then retreat. We don't need you all the time either. Manifesting generators, you work in sprints and shifts. Reflectors, you're here to sample and share the process. You can give us behind the scenes as well. Generators, when you are following this, you feel satisfied. Projectors, when you feel recognized, when you're getting invitations, you are on the path. Manifestors, impact is your success indicator. Manifesting generators, you just have multi-interest, multi-passions. And reflectors, you're going to feel surprised. You're going to feel surprised when you're on your path. So thank you so much for being here. I would like to extend this limited time offer to join Spiritual Business School today. You can start with a 7-day risk trial. If you join as an annual member, you can join monthly or annual, but the annual members, I will do a 10K school community build out with you. We'll set up your school, and because I already know everything that needs to be in there, and it's so fun. And plus, either way, you get immediate access to all of the resources, calls, and you can learn more by going to Skool.com/Amanda. Just remember that your human design is your built-in business strategy. So this is your permission slip to stop forcing someone else's blueprint. Leverage your strengths instead of trying to compensate for any perceived weaknesses, because what you have, who you are, what you know is enough. I love you so much. I see you.